I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, yet not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. Another thing is these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want.
Bro, I can't even make this up anymore. How can this man look himself in the mirror after saying something like that?
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
Man, welcome back to another episode of the Ruling Class Podcast. And of course, I'm your host, Diddy, back up in this bitch with another video. Listen, if you're new to the show, please know your boy is thirsty to grow and to drink some of this water. You can help me out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. But don't worry, I'm gonna give you a sec to do that to help me out. Just hit that like button for me. I appreciate you. So listen, there's a story that went viral about a week ago that I would have already covered on this channel. If YouTube didn't decide a week ago to give me both a community warning and a community strike within a 24-hour period for the same video that was posted 2 different times, even though I appealed both situations and they rejected one of the appeals and granted the other appeal, and by granting it, they acknowledged that the video did not violate any community guidelines. So how did I get a warning? How did I get a strike for the same video? It just made no sense. But anyways, I'm not gonna talk too much about that because I want to stay on YouTube. Anyways, there's this crazy story that went viral, man, that we have to talk about, that I've been waiting to talk about, regarding this guy who came out and said he has 7 baby mamas and 7 kids by these 7 different women that he's purposefully choosing not to take care of. And there's one thing out there I feel like is just as bad, if not worse, than a man who purposefully chooses to not take care of his own children. And that is another man who claims to believe in taking care of his own children and operating from a higher moral standard, but chooses to support a man who don't want to take care of his children. Men that choose to support other men that don't take care of their children are the scum of the earth, right? And that's exactly what happened. This guy who went viral, I don't know his real name, so he calls himself House of Hypocrites. And he went on this guy's show by the name of Anton Daniels. And I don't know if you all know who Anton Daniels is, but he's a popular guy. He's known for, I think, business or real estate and things of that sort. I agree with Anton Daniels' message a lot of the times, but this right here, I just have no respect for him. He had House of Hypocrites come on his show, and I can tell this is just for clout. Because as much as these men, including myself, go after these women who try to take advantage of men, women who want these unrealistic expectations of men, we make fun of women for going after the men who don't really want to take care of them. You know, all day long, y'all go after these women, including myself. But then when a man is sitting right in front of you who's telling you that he's a deadbeat, he's not using the word deadbeat, but that's how by definition, he's a deadbeat. He's actively choosing, he's voluntarily choosing to not take care of his own children. And you choose to have a person like this in front of you, and I don't want to say correct him or get on to him. This is a grown man. He's going to do what he wants to do at the end of the day. But as a brother, and I don't mean a brother in a personal sense, but in a general sense, right? You don't have to know somebody for them to be your brother. But in the so-called black community, when you know that there's a great problem in our community already, and you have a man in front of you who's telling you he has 7 of them that he's choosing not to take care of, and you're somebody in Anton Daniels who's very eloquent, very well-spoken, very educated. You have a man in front of you who's willing to listen, and you choose not to do it. I do not respect you. I watched this show, and this man was on there talking to House of Hypocrites, talking about, so how long did it take you to bust this woman down? Or how long did it take you to get the box? Get the box? Bust her down? We're not talking about a pallet of bricks. We're not talking about material objects here. We're talking about a woman. We're talking about a human being. bust her down, bro. This is a great example. One of my degrees is in psychology, and I understand a lot of you don't think of things from a psychological perspective. But from my point of view, this is a great example of when you have bros who get together and you try to come off so cool at the expense of just giving somebody the truth and being real with them. You give that up to try to come off as more relatable to them. I don't understand it, bro. You're going after these women, but you won't go after these men. You had this man right in front of you. It could have been a great opportunity for you to use this as a teachable moment. Give this man some knowledge. Give this man some insight on the damage, right? On the detriment, on the cycle that he's encouraging, that he's keeping going, that he's causing in other human beings' lives. That means not only those women, but his children that are gonna come seeking for him. I don't understand you type of people, bro. I don't respect you for having a person like that and you don't try to help him. I don't get it. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and react to the first clip of this man talking.
I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want.
Let me go ahead and stop this early and say, listen, so it was a point in the episode where he was talking to Anton Daniels. He literally, this guy right here went on to Anton Daniels' show. And I'm not going to make this episode about Anton Daniels, so to speak. But I want to really weigh in on something. He went on Anton Daniels' show. And a lot of people in the comments, and even Anton Daniels himself, kind of alluded to the fact that, man, I see a lot of people are coming after you and shaming you and bashing you, but I don't hear anybody saying anything about the women. You have 7 different women who chose to do this with you and have the children, even though you told them you didn't want the kid. I don't see them bashing them. It's the women that's the real problem.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
What? What? How do you people's brain think? Okay, so first of all, everything is about perspective. You can say, yes, you got 7 different women who chose to sleep with this man and have his kid, even though the man said he didn't want children, or he didn't want to be a father, and they still chose to have it. And you can say that they're dumb or they're stupid or whatever. Everything is about perspective, because you're talking like those 7 women was in a room with this man and they went one after the other. But that's not what happened as far as we know, is it? No, it's not. It's 7 different women in 7 different situations. So you can look at it that way, or you can say you got 7 different women who slept with this one man and had a kid by this one man that we know of. And you got one man that did the same thing to a woman 7 different times. Who sounds like they're worse off? Who sounds like they're the worst human being? Who sounds like they're more irresponsible here? The man does, because it's all about perspective. But this right here is what I mean when I say this was a great opportunity to turn this into a teachable moment, because something he repeated many, many times over is that he's a grown man. He's going to do what he wants. Nobody's going to be able to tell him, but he hears people though. He's willing to listen. So this is when you come out and you say, brother, there's something called father deficiency, right? Father deficiency. I am under the belief that father deficiency is the greatest disease. It is the greatest epidemic that's ever plagued this country, that's ever plagued this world. Hear me out on this. More than any other thing you can name. And this is what I mean. Father deficiency is exactly what it sounds like. Deficiency, by definition, means to lack something or to be missing out on something that's a necessity, something that you need, right? So when a lot of people hear it, they think, oh, you mean to not have the father in the home or not to have the father in your life. No, it's not just that, even though that's bad enough, right? Because that's a lot of people in this world already. Father deficiency isn't just not having the father in your life. Father deficiency is also having the father present yet absent, right?
Say again? What'd you say?
Father deficiency doesn't just mean that you are fatherless. It also means you have a father that is present yet absent. That means that your father may be in your life, but he's not a good father. That means that your father may be in your life, but he may not be giving you the necessary things, the emotional time, the patience, right? The relationship that you are craving for, that you need, right? There's a book that I'm reading right now called Father Deficiency, the most needed vitamin in America. If I was talking to House of Hypocrites, if you ever see this video, brother, any men out there that's like you, ever see this video, please just hear me out from a respectful perspective here, bro. Father deficiency, bro. This is what's important. This is what I would tell you if you were on my show. I wouldn't sit there and cater with you or go along with you to try to come off as cool and relatable. I will let you know the damage that you're causing in other human beings' lives by your recklessness, by your ignorance, right? By your selfishness. I'm letting you know here. So this is something I want to read to you. I just want to read a couple of passages and I'll be out your hair. Scurvy is a disease caused by lack of ascorbic acid, in other words, vitamin C, in the diet. Scurvy has been known since ancient times. It was once a common disease among sailors. During long voyages, sailors rarely had fresh fruits and vegetables. They lived on salt beef and hardtack, which is dry biscuits, for weeks at a time. Portuguese navigator Vasco da Gama once lost about 100 out of 170 men from scurvy. That's the majority of his men. In 1753, James Lind, a Scottish physician, showed that eating oranges and lemons would cure scurvy and that adding lemon juice to the diet would prevent the disease. What a tragedy that so many men died from a disease that could have been so easily cured and also prevented. They didn't need a miracle breakthrough drug. Simply eating oranges could have prevented this great tragedy and loss of life. This story, as tragic as it is, gives us powerful insight into the danger of a vitamin deficiency. 100 men died because of the lack of a vitamin. So it is with many of our young men and women. They are on a ship isolated from their fathers, whether it is by physical or emotional distance. They are suffering from not having a good, healthy relationship with their fathers. The captain was probably very puzzled by the deaths of about 100 of his men. Perhaps he may have thought that it was some deadly, contagious plague or an outbreak of some unknown epidemic. One can only wonder what his reaction would have been to learn that it was vitamin deficiency and all he needed to do was bring oranges and lemons aboard. Likewise, today, many are puzzled over the cause of many children's behaviors. The real culprit is that they are father deficient. Just like vitamin C is something that the body needs to be healthy, there is something in a relationship with the father that every person needs to be emotionally and mentally healthy. When that need is not met, there are holes left in the person's emotions. The result is father deficiency. What every father deficient person needs to know is that father deficiency is not an excuse or a cop-out. It has been proven not only statistically, but also biblically of its profound negative effects on one's life. The concept of FD, or father deficiency, is as real as the fatal consequences experienced by the 100 men who died from vitamin C deficiency during a long voyage, while on the ship of Portuguese navigator Vasco da Gama. Today, there are millions of people affected on another ship that is on a long voyage. The voyage is life. What is missing on this ship is not fresh fruit, but a relationship. Like many diseases can be predicted based on the absence of certain vitamins, many societal ills can be predicted based on the absence of a father, right? There are many statistics. Let's read some of them off. 63% of youth suicides are from fatherless homes. 90% of homeless and runaway youths are from fatherless homes. I'm one of them. 85% of children who exhibit behavioral disorders are from fatherless homes. 71% of high school dropouts are from fatherless homes. 70% of youth in state institutions are from fatherless homes. 75% of adolescent patients in substance abuse centers are from fatherless homes. 85% of grapists motivated by displaced anger are from fatherless homes. 71% of teenage pregnancies are to children of single parents. According to the United States Department of Health and Human Services, nearly 75% of American children living in single-parent families will experience poverty by the time they turn 11. This makes me so emotional. This is what you should be saying to this man. Because apparently this guy grew up with both parents, which tells you that it's not just about having your father in your life or having two parents in the home with you, right? It's about having that knowledge, having that emotional relationship, having a great relationship with both parents, and using what it is that they instilled in you in your life. Actually, I read it in this book. There's a quote in here that says, it's one thing if somebody's going in the wrong direction, right, and don't know that they're going in the wrong direction. But it's a completely different thing when you go in the wrong direction and you know that you're going in the wrong direction. If you choose to go and you know better, then that's completely different from somebody who's going in the wrong direction and don't even realize it, right? So if you have both your mother and your father in the home with you that you grew up with, and you have a great relationship with them, and you're choosing to still not take care of your kids, that's your choice, and that makes you even worse of a human being, right? But if you have both parents in your life, but maybe your dad wasn't the best dad, you didn't have the best relationship with your dad, then that's completely different, right? Which is why father deficiency is different from just being fatherless, because your father can still be in your life, but you don't get the necessary things that you need from him that would benefit a human being emotionally. You should be letting him know that he's, contributing or attributing to a cycle of not having the father in the home, and you're causing all these human beings, that being your children, to miss out. That's what I would tell him.
And I don't give a what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't.
Wow.
And I ain't care to pull out.
Wow.
Because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months.
Wow.
It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body, and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this and be like, black man this, black man that, I really don't.
A lot of people thought that this man was trolling. A lot of people thought that it was a joke to go viral. And I can say this, since this has went viral, he started a YouTube channel and he has become a content creator, right? And I think he's trying to capitalize off of it. Who knows? He may even come out with a book. The one thing that I respect about this man is his honesty. That's the one thing I respect about him. He decided to be honest. He's giving you the real. But the problem is a lot of women are attracted to this. The problem is a lot of women want men like this. A lot of deadbeats, a lot of men who are no good. These are the women these are the type of men that these women are attracted to, right? And we're not going to make this about blaming the women. My point is, when a man tells you who he is, when a person tells you who they are, believe them. And now let me just say this. He did make a great point. Outside of this clip, he talked about how he said that a woman should still be responsible for 18 years of child support if she decides to get an abortion and the man wants the kid, but she don't listen and she go and get an abortion. But if a woman wants the kid and the man don't want it, she's still going to give birth to that kid and the man is still expected to be responsible and they're going to put him on child support. He said in that regard, it's not fair. And I agree. That's not fair. Right? So there needs to be something that's figured out about as it pertains to that. But that's not even my problem. My problem is that we treat sex like it's some sort of hobby or something fun to just do, as if, I don't know how many times I have to say this, sex has consequences, right? It's called babies. It's called pregnancy. Sex has consequences. It's called STDs, right? And y'all are choosing to go out here and have sex. I really mean this from the bottom of my heart, and I understand that it's like asking somebody what a male and a female is nowadays. It's such a hot take. It's like, it's not a hot take. It's science. It's biology. It's just y'all have gotten so far away from the truth that when you just hear a basic question that's, derived in truth, it's such a hot take for y'all. So when I ask you this, I really mean this, and not from a judgmental perspective, but I'm truly curious because I've never understood it. How are you all able to have sex with so many different people? How are y'all able to do that? How are y'all able to have sex outside of marriage? The further we get away from God, the less things seem to make sense, right? Because I understand in 2023 it's considered a hot take to tell somebody don't have sex outside of marriage, right? Don't have sex with somebody that you don't love. Don't have sex with jump offs, people you don't really care about, women you don't really care about, right? That solves all those problems, because when you're in a marriage, this is, I would like to think, somebody that mutually loves you, right? You have a mutual commitment to one another, right? There's a equally yoked relationship there, where you understand that engaging in sexual activity is risking the chance of having a kid, right? It greatly decreases your chances of having a sexual disease or getting an STD because you're in a committed relationship. That's why but I understand, again, in 2023, it's a hot take to say that, because the further away from God we get, the more confusing things are, as I've said already, right? I understand that when you say things like that, people look at you like, you're one of those, you're religious, or you still believe in God. Still believe in God. It never changed. This is a great example of when something is the truth for so long, people just get bored with it and they want to go somewhere else. The truth is still the truth. The more we indulge in things that are easy to do, the worse our life is, right? The more we indulge in things that are harder to do, the more discipline that we exercise, the better our life is. Has anybody ever noticed that? How are you all able to engage and indulge in a lifestyle like this? I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. If I had this man in front of me, I would say, brother, it's men like you that make our communities look bad, because there's so many other men who aren't as bold as you, but they're out there. I hope you see this video, brother, and I hope that you decide to change your ways and you decide to be in those children's lives. The last thing we need is more human beings without a father in their life. Man, y'all hop in the comment section and y'all give me y'all thoughts on this crazy situation, man. Until next time. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.